Howdy, y'all. Back in the garage, late at night, 12:30, I believe. Kids are finally in bed, Saturday night. I was able to plasma cut some plates, 3/8 thick plates at work. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to weld it at work, but I do have a little hobby grade welder. I wouldn't call that a great welder, but it sticks metal together. But what I'm trying to do is a mock-up of the factory mounting points of the for the brackets and everything for this bumper right here. This bumper I kind of custom built. It is a mock-up of the Pathfinder, WD21 Pathfinder bumper, because it is more square in these tubes here. And this general shape here does still stay the same. There's a couple tubes and all that kind of stuff, but I do have a winch plate and all that good stuff. But anyways, these brackets that I had for this were basically, they were obviously meant for the other vehicle. The same toe point though is in the same location and can bolt up on that side, but the brackets now, with this part of the frame being extended technically like another 6 inches, I could just extend the bracket and like have it come underneath and all that good stuff, but there's no, like, there's weld nuts on that side, but there is no weld nuts on the driver's side. So you cannot, I mean, you could weld some nuts inside, but you'd have some fun getting in there, and you could technically bolt it in there, but you'd again have some fun fishing. You could fish a bolt through and just go about it that way. That is possibly what I might do, and go about going but right now, I do like these points here. These are kind of nice because it kind of pulls at a low, like if the winch is gonna pull, it's gonna pull towards the vehicle, right? And in theory, you want there to be not points like this and this, like vertical. You want them to be horizontal so that it can have some like really good pull. If you can make 4 points, I may what I also might do is actually, I'm gonna sandwich another plate on the other side here, maybe just a 1/4 inch steel plate on this side. I can maybe weld it to the frame, but welding to the frame is definitely not a good idea. It's not recommended. And even drilling into a frame, because if you're wanting to go into these kind of things and build your own kind of stuff, you do have, like, yeah, you can go jank as you want, the janker the better, but at the same time, let's make this safe. I do have a family, I like to roll with my family, but using factory points is good because basically you could just modify those factory points. So like these bolts are tiny. They're like maybe 1.25 inches or 1.1 inches long. Swap those out to like some solid grade 8 bolts, or some You know, something that might stretch, some grade 5s. I've always been told to go high tensile strength, but with high tensile strength, it tends to shear, where a lower tensile strength will tend to stretch. And in most cases, you want that to stretch. You do not want it to shear, because if it shears, then the whole thing will come off. If it stretches, then at least you have that little bit of leeway, I would always say. That's the one thing that when I was installing fifth wheel hitches, I always I kind of asked, like, you know, manufacturers like Kurt and Reese and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, why don't you guys use grade 8 bolts? And they said grade 8 bolts are great, but they shear, they do not stretch. So just a little food for thought if you guys are kind of looking to fab your own stuff. I do want to use the factory crash bar. This thing is actually pretty robust and pretty heavy duty. So I'm gonna see if I can somehow integrate that into either up here or keep it down here, add it into that somewhere if I need to, and yeah, go about it that way. But either way, I will hopefully let you guys know how this all goes, and hopefully I can at least show you what a custom bumper build would be on a 02 Xterra WD22 trail build. All right, guys, catch you on the flip side. I can't do super long welds in my garage. Somebody will probably comment if they do watch this, but yeah, my garage. Ooh, yeah, I forgot. Vent. Turn myself from monoxide poisoning. Ooh, yeah. See how spicy these welds are. Even though I work at a fab shop, I am no welder. But I can stick some metal together. Alrighty. Well, I'll let you guys know how it goes. Catch you later.